guys, welcome back to my channel. So it's been a while since I posted my last video. As you know, that one was my nursery tour. If you haven't seen it, definitely click on the link in the description box and you'll be able to see that. We are going to be talking about my postpartum experience and how it's been going now that I am officially a month in, and also meeting baby boy Anais. So I'm really excited. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into this video. So this is baby boy Anais. He is everything, okay? Let me just tell y'all, I am in love with this little baby. So he was born July 19th, 2018. He is just turning 1 month today. So he's officially a month. Look at his outfit, y'all. It is so cute. Anais, look in the camera, baby. It's my little spank. So yeah, he was born at 10:30 p.m. He was 6 pounds, 10 ounces, 20 inches long. I'll kind of give you guys the short version of everything that's been going on with him. So at the hospital, he did end up losing quite a bit of weight. He had what you call the tongue tie. So basically his tongue was, it couldn't move, like it was attached to like the bottom of his mouth. You know, when I was trying to get him to latch on and everything like that and breastfeed him, he was really having a hard time. It was just like a struggle. He couldn't stay on. All the nurses was like, yeah, you know, it's normal for them to be like this. It's normal for them to be struggling and yada yada yada. But you know, he'll get it, whatever. So they would like show me trying to do all these different positions and all that stuff, and it's just like not working. They don't let you see the lactation consultant until like 24 hours after you've had your baby. So I ended up seeing the consultant on actually my day going home, my 3rd day of being in the hospital. And she came in, she did something to his ear, like she like rubbed his little face or something, and it made him yawn. And when he opened his mouth big and wide, she was like, oh wow, you know, she looked at right at his tongue and was like, he has tongue tie, like he like physically can't maneuver his tongue in order to get the milk. Like he can't do it, like he has no mobility. So because I guess the tongue has to go like this, but his was like this, like because he couldn't lift his tongue. And looking back at it, like I did notice that I never actually seen his tongue outside his mouth. And he also kind of had like a muffled cry, like he didn't really cry full out. And I believe that was because his tongue was, he couldn't move. So I'm so glad that she was able to see that, because 1, breastfeeding would have never been successful. 2, he probably would have grew up with like a speech impediment, because it was pretty glued down to his mouth. A pediatrician at the hospital snipped his tongue. Come to find out, after probably having him home for about 5 days or so, she did not snip his tongue enough after being home and everything like that. And he was still kind of losing weight. So I went to go see one of those people, the lactation consultant, and she actually took a look at his tongue. They didn't actually snip enough. He still can't really fully move his tongue very well. And, that was really disappointing, because the first snip had already healed by then. So we had to go and see like a ears, mouth, and nose doctor, like a pediatrician specialist or whatever. And she ended up snipping his tongue again. That was a struggle. On top of that, this little one did not get circumcised at the hospital. Reason being was because his foreskin did not fully grow all the way up his private. So we had to go see a specialist for that. and he actually ended up getting circumcised this past Friday, and he's been doing really good. I mean, considering they like cut into his manhood. Whew. So that is the updates on how everything's been going on with him. Let's get into my recovery. Okay, so if you guys hear a little bit of some noises over there, that noise is actually his swing, so he's sitting right next to me. But he was born vaginally, so yay, kudos to my vajayjay. But he was born vaginally, so he did give me a 2-degree tear. That actually healed pretty quickly. I would say probably by week 2, I felt like I was pretty much healed. Really what was my friend and what kept me, I'd say, doing really good down there would be they give you like this cream at the hospital. It's like a numbing cream. I kept that in my pads faithfully. When I tell you, every time I changed, which was pretty often actually, I would just slather that on there. And then also I bought some witch hazel. I bought some witch hazel, which really actually helped out a lot. I believe that's why I healed so fast down there. I was faithful with the stool softeners as well, so that helped a lot. I did not actually have hemorrhoids after I gave birth. I did have hemorrhoids for a very long time. I'm telling y'all, okay, if you don't learn nothing from this video, learn to stay faithful with your stool softeners, even after 4 weeks of postpartum, because now I think I'm starting to get them. Okay, stay faithful with drinking your water. All right, stay faithful. Okay, like for the whole 6 weeks, low key for a whole, like, I would say for a whole 3 months, be faithful with taking your stool softeners. And honestly, I don't even think that it's as bad as other people, you know what I mean? Like, it's just every now and then, you know, I get a little sore down there. So very serious, like, you don't want that. What else? I'm gonna tell you guys this because I think it's hilarious. I actually purchased Depends because I thought that I was going to be, you know, this might be TMI, but I thought I was going to be bleeding a lot. I really did. I thought I was going to be bleeding a lot because that's what a lot of people tell you. It was not a lot for me at all. Not at all. Honestly, for the first 48 hours, yes, it was a little bit, it was a lot. It was a little bit more than your period, you know, a little bit. Well, I would say, yeah, like you do bleed a lot in the first 24 or 48 hours. You do. And that's just because your uterus is it's getting smaller. All that needs to come out. Like, it all needs to come out. So you do for sure. And then pushing on your belly does help with getting a lot of that out, because when they push, it comes out. Okay, it flows. All right, and they will be doing that, and it's really annoying. That is extremely annoying with them doing the pushes. The first day, I think it's like every hour, every 30 minutes or something like that. It's a lot. It's they doing the absolute most. I understand, they have to check. But yeah, it was funny because the first time that she pushed, which was like right after giving birth, I legit, and I'm not an aggressive person, I'm really not, but I legit like grabbed her hands and I was like pulling up on her hands, like no, and I was like, ow, 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 like get off me. But she was strong too. I was like, this little nurse, strong like that. She was still pushing down, and she was strong, y'all. Okay, these nurses is strong out here. Oh, he's so fussy right now. First 48 hours, it was a lot more. Okay, and then it basically after that was like I had my period. That's how much it was for me. which I don't bleed heavily. I'd say I bleed about medium. Probably like by the 3rd week I was in panty liners. It was not a lot at all. Let's talk about breastfeeding. So, breastfeeding has been actually pretty successful. I'm definitely blessed. I was nervous. I really did think that I wasn't gonna have nothing coming out these boobies of mine. Okay, I was worried, but I didn't have to be worried because they grew. Okay, they grew a lot. Not only did they grow, they were so big and engorged. I had plentiful milk. Okay, I could breathe and they would be dripping. Like they was. Listen, and there's still a lot like that actually, even though my breasts have regulated now. Okay, like I was saying, they were a dripping, but I was really nervous. And I come from a long line of women who did not breastfeed. I think my older cousin was the first woman in our family to breastfeed, you know. I had a pretty good example of, you know, continue to try and persevere, because my sister, she did, like, even when like breastfeeding on the breast didn't work for her, she still tried to pump and do the best she could with that. So shout out to you. But I just knew that I had to be patient with it, like even with his tongue being like that and just not cooperating. Like I was still very patient, even though I was tired out of my mind. And I didn't get really mad at myself either. I just really watched, paid attention, and just tried my very best. So for all you ladies out there who are trying to breastfeed, don't let the, you know, missing the sleep and all that stuff really stress you out. And don't think that, oh, he's not getting it now, like it's not gonna work. It'll work. Like, you just gotta be patient, and you gotta just kind of get to know your baby and get to know yourself. But anyway, you know, your boobs are gonna be super engorged, and like, you know, by like week 3, your breasts should be like regulating. So like for me, I freaked out. I thought that my milk was going away. I thought that I wasn't taking care of myself, and that my milk was just diminishing. And you know, I just kind of started freaking out. You gotta kind of do your research and don't freak out. They also don't tell you that your nipples is gonna be weird. They don't tell you that. They don't tell you. Nobody tells you that your nipples are gonna be huge, like as big as the tip of your finger. They don't tell you that. Okay? And for some women, it's gonna be bigger than the tip of your finger. You know, one of your fingers. It might be as big as your thumb. I've seen it. I don't know how people get that in the baby's mouth without choking the baby, but hey, do it. Breastfeed your child. It's important. Okay? They don't tell you that you know, maybe one of your nipples might be shaped different than the other one. They don't tell you. They don't let you know this. Yes, one of my nipples is shaped differently than the other one, and I'm not sure if it's gonna go back when I'm done breastfeeding. I don't know. But hey, he's happy. He's getting the good stuff, and that's okay. My husband's just gonna have to love me regardless. Right, baby? Breastfeeding has been great. It's been one of my joys. Another thing they don't tell y'all. Okay, this might be a little TMI, but y'all need to know this. Okay, y'all need to know. All right. It sometimes feels like, you know how your boyfriend feels, or your husband, you know, like it kind of does. It feels like that sometimes, and it's just weird because it's your child. But yeah, like, kind of feels like, I don't want to say it feels good because that's weird. Okay, I don't want to say that. All right, but you know how it feels. Okay, You know what I mean. Without me saying it, like, you know what I'm talking about. And then that's those moments when it's like, okay, this is weird. I didn't think that it would feel that way. I really didn't. I just noticed that sometimes when I breastfed him, like, I would get irritated. And I'm like, why am I irritated? Like, he's latched on, like, he's fine. He's getting the good milk. Like, why am I irritated? That was why. Like, I didn't know that. Like, that was why. But yeah, I guess I was getting irritated that it felt that way. Like, subconsciously. It gets weird a little bit in that area. But if you can push past that, then you'll be fine. Like, I pushed past it. Many women have felt this way. It happens. It's absolutely normal. Okay. But yeah, so that's what's going on with breastfeeding. I don't really know what else I could tell you guys. I just want to encourage you guys to do it and to try it. Lastly, I just want to kind of go over what our little fake routine is. I call it a fake routine because he's just only 1 month today, so we don't necessarily have like a full routine quite yet. But I have noticed, that we're starting to get one. His feeding times are starting to move into maybe like every 4 hours he wakes up. So it starts at his morning feeds start at midnight, 4:35 a.m. is kind of when he wakes up next, and then he wakes back up at around 8:39. Let's see, when's his next feed? 12 p.m. is usually when he feeds next. And then it goes around 3:30. Yeah, 3:34. And you guys get the idea. So he gives me pretty good sleep now. And what I try and do is I try and make sure that I feed him real good so that he's just knocked. You feel me? Like, just gone. Okay. That is the key. I pretty much have his feeding schedules down packed, and you want to have that because if your baby is crying for any other reason, you want to know, okay, well, I fed you, so you shouldn't really be hungry. So let's kind of go down the line. Let's go down the list. Touch them. Do they feel cold? Are they cold? Put a blanket on them. All right, you're not cold. So what else? What's going on with you? Because he would do a lot of crying, extra crying, and it's just like, man, I just fed you. And there was a few times where I had overfed him because I thought he was still hungry and he wasn't. So there was some other things. There was acid reflux that was really bothering him. Yeah. Anyway, those are all the things that I really wanted to fill you guys in on. I've tried not to make this video super long, but a lot has happened in a month. I'll be filling you guys in on my birth video really soon. Stay tuned for that. So yeah, my birth experience was pretty awesome. I was blessed. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Alrighty, bye. Hi, say hey, say hey, say hi, hey, 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 hey. Look at my baby, look at my baby, look at my baby. Oh yeah, you got those spit bubbles going. Show them the spit bubbles.